I understand that Secretary Clinton thinks that this campaign is over. I've got some bad news for her.
We had a tremendous victory tonight. It was a tremendous victory.
Folks, big night for Senator Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump as they both walked away with victories in Indiana's primary. But perhaps the biggest story out of Indiana, Senator Ted Cruz of Texas announced he's dropping out of the presidential race. Now the likely GOP nominee, Donald Trump, wants the backing of Cruz.
From the beginning, I've said that I would continue on as long as there was a viable path to victory. Tonight, I'm sorry to say, it appears that path has been foreclosed.
Just so you understand, Ted Cruz, I don't know if he likes me or if he doesn't like me, but he is one hell of a competitor. He is a tough, smart guy.
Now, folks, the latest delegate count looks this way. With his win in Indiana, Trump picked up 51 delegates, bringing his current total to 1,053. Ted Cruz finished with 572. Governor John Kasich, who's not dropping out, has 156 delegates. 1,237 delegates, folks, are needed for the nomination. That graphic is wrong. That is the Democratic total. 1,237 are needed on the Republican side. Now, as for the Democrats, Sanders pulled off a win last night against Secretary Hillary Clinton. He said he's not giving up anytime soon.
It's going to give us a great deal of momentum, because I think there are many in the media, like you and others, who have decided that the campaign is over. Well, I guess the people of Indiana did not quite agree with that assessment.
Donald Trump doesn't talk about these issues on the campaign trail, but his tax plan would give $3.2 trillion to millionaires and billionaires, the people in our society who need it the least.
Again, Sanders picks up 43 delegates in Indiana, but Hillary Clinton also picked up just as many. His total, 1,443. Her total, 2,217. 2,383 delegates needed to clinch the Democratic nomination. Let's go right to our panel right now. So, folks, bottom line is Donald Trump is going to be the Republican nominee. He probably will get the delegates needed in California. Sanders stays in the race. His people were very scared by losing. They would have to pretty much end their race. I still contend that Sanders being in the race still helps the Democrats because it keeps the focus, keeps the attention, but also it forces Hillary Clinton to continue to push progressive issues as opposed to becoming a center-right DLC, Democratic Leadership Council, if you will, type candidate.
It's getting to the edge. Yeah, okay, she needs to run to the center. And they need to combine their efforts with regard to Bernie's votes and her votes. And that needs to happen as soon as possible.
But here's the deal, though. Just like John Kasich is not dropping out, you have to clinch. But see, I mean, almost clinching isn't clinching.
We're talking about the electoral map, and we talk about Ohio, Virginia, North Carolina, Florida. That's what matters. And those votes have to be combined at some point.
But you can't talk about the electoral map until you actually clinch the delegates for the nomination. But has she clinched?
I was in agreement with you, Roland, up until Ted Cruz got out of the race. While Cruz was in there battling with Trump, I thought it was fine for the Clinton camp to be battling with Sanders. Now that Cruz is out of the race and Trump can turn his full attention to Clinton, I think the Clinton camp would like to be able to sort out how they're going to respond to Trump and not have to.
Of course they will, but again, though, you still have to hit the number. Senator Obama didn't hit the number until June 2008.
Right.
That's the point.
It's May.
That's the point. That's the exact point, Roland. Hillary Clinton is on the verge of having a repeat of what happened with Barack Obama if she's not careful. She has got to keep the focus on Bernie Sanders because he has the opportunity to win over superdelegates. What they're seeing is momentum. And they have to be asking themselves, how can we win if she is still failing to attract young minority voters? If she's still not connecting well with women?
That doesn't change because Bernie is there or not there. And you have to understand, Bernie is to the left of the country, okay? The country is a moderate country.
But the base of their party is
when she gets pushed to the left, that becomes a problem for her campaign.
African-American women over 50 are with Clinton, and African-American women over 50 are the base of the Democratic Party.
Here's why I disagree with this whole notion in terms of Bernie being so far left. The reality is this here. you're talking about a level of populism that is attracting voters out there. And the bottom line is this here. If you're not pushing an economic message, if you're not speaking to those needs, bottom line is you're going to have a serious problem. And again, the reality is Sanders, by pushing her to where they are right now, still helps her to appeal to those voters come the fall.
That's a national strategy. We're talking Florida, North Carolina, Virginia, Ohio. You're right, but that's a national strategy.
But
it's going to come down to those four states.
But here's the deal, though. But November means a national strategy. Speaking of national strategy, Donald Trump, bottom line is he can tout the numbers all he wants to. He's doing horrible among women. Horrible.
Right.
He's doing horrible among Hispanics, African Americans. A CNN poll out right now shows Clinton 54, Trump 41.
It's upside down. And also he's doing, if you look at how many votes Hillary's gotten versus what he's gotten during the primary campaign in the key states, she has more votes. And that's what this is going to come down to. But they've got to combine efforts. All this talk from the Bernie people, I'll never vote for Hillary,
Paris,
that's dangerous.
Well, personally, we had the same thing about her voters in 2008.
Yeah.
Paris, Republicans, we don't know what the hell's going on. I mean, today, you're talking about people. Senator Lindsey Graham said, what was the choice, cyanide or a gun?
I mean, at this point, if the Republicans, my party, if we want to win in November, we've got to get around Donald Trump. And because a no vote or staying at home is actually a vote for Hillary Clinton.
Very simple. Will you support Donald Trump?
I will support Donald Trump because he's a Republican nominee. And I want the Republicans to win.
So you're not voting your conscience. So do you actually believe Donald Trump is a conservative?
I didn't say that I was going to vote for a conservative. I didn't claim to be a conservative. What I said is I am a person who is a member of the Republican Party, and I will support a Republican nominee because I believe he's better for the country.
So there's a litany of conservatives and Republicans who said, Eric Erickson and so many others who say, I could in no way support Donald Trump. And so you're going to vote for Trump?
And Erickson and all the litanies of other conservatives don't speak for me. I'm going to vote for the Republican. And I'm going to vote for our nominee, who's going to be Donald Trump, because I believe he's going to be better for the country.
Lauren
than
and
Hillary
David.
Clinton.
The Republicans are going to lose big. They're going to lose big on this in November. They're going to lose huge. Because the problem is you're going to flip the Senate. With him on the top of the ticket, you got a huge problem, particularly when you look at where the Senate races are.
Absolutely.
If Democrats are able to turn out their base in the states you named a minute ago, then yes, Clinton should be able to win. But I would not rule Trump out at this point.
I'll say this here. Bottom line is, first of all, I don't claim any party. No party will ever claim me. But I'm also a person of conscience. There's no way in hell, I don't care if I was a Republican, I could walk in a booth and vote for Donald Trump with the stuff that he said about women, stuff he said about Latinos, stuff he said about Muslims. And the bottom line is, this man has no foreign policy experience. That speech he gave the other day was so delusional, it was unbelievable. And so if that's the person you want in control of our negotiating and the nuclear codes, pray. Folks, coming up on the life of Tamir Rice, the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture looks to keep Rice's memory alive. Also, was this man fired for preaching? That's what this pastor claims, and he's taking legal action against the Georgia Department of Public Health. All of that next. News 1 Now, TV 1.